Barry McCarthy giving way at the pavilion end, and it's going to be Craig Young into the attack now. How's he going to deal with this situation, Craig Young?
Well, he tends to bowl a lot of slower ball bouncers, back of a length, slower balls. Has got a good Yorker in him, Craig Young, and he's got a bit of pace behind him if he wants to go short. He has got some tricks up his sleeve. He's got some good skill. Good character, Craig Young. Fought back from a number of setbacks selection-wise to be in this side.
Where do you sit in this sort of situation, Niall? Are you a believer in the captain changing the bowler regularly at this back end, not to allow the batsman to settle, or do you like to see bowlers being given a decent spell?
I think it's very difficult to bowl too long a spell at this stage of the game unless you've got unbelievable skill sets. The batsmen are going to line you up, so I don't mind Balbirnie chopping and changing a little bit. I think he's probably been, seeing bowlers stay up, being given a little bit of tap, safe to say, and that'll be something they'll look to reflect on for the next game. Spinners have done a good job, but the seamers today have been a little bit ineffective.
Two is the call from Rashid Khan. He wants Najibullah to come back, and in the end, two players are able to do so comfortably. That was good cricket. Drop and run.
Yeah, sometimes when you get the energy from Rashid Khan as a batsman, you can just reinvigorate yourself. Najibullah's feeding off Rashid Khan's skill and enthusiasm at the crease. He wants two straight away. It's good cricket. Also, when you nudge it to the 30-yard circle, you'll make it back.
That looked like one of those little cutters from Young.
Just look at the pace. Lack of pace. Slower ball off the wicket. Absolutely no pace. It's going to get slower too. These are the options we were talking about. Could have Kevin O'Brien maybe eked another couple of overs out to extend maybe Barry McCarthy's spell at the back end. A slow ball again from Craig Young. Yeah, I mentioned Craig Young. He was out of the side for a good while. Fought back and showed good character. Well, a man with character. Hell of a player that fellow was. H.D. Ackerman. One of Leicestershire's finest. One of the Fox's finest. One of my old counties.
Take your eye patch off.
Right, that many teams. There was always going to be a chance. Another teammate of mine, Lance Klusner. Brilliant player.
He's hooked up, and he's hooked long. Didn't think he got it initially, Najibullah, but the boundary isn't all that long on that side, and he's got it all the way for 6.
That's a good hit, because he's missed out on 3 or 4 of these short ones, and he's mishit most of them. He gets plenty of this. Hits it up. It's good thought process. Never tries to keep it down at this stage. Get it up and over the rope. Might be the innings, and it might be the stroke that just gets Najibullah going here. He can be devastating once he starts finding the middle of his bat. All of a sudden, that momentum we spoke about has shifted again. Afghanistan are just wrestling it back.
Anyone for tennis? That was almost like a serve, almost, really. Ball getting above his head, but as Niall O'Brien said, no attempt to keep it down. Two is the call again. I think they'll struggle to get 2 this time. And indeed, they have to settle for the single. But it's a good over from an Afghanistan perspective. 10 runs from it. 3 to go. 2:48 for 7.
Come on, Cody.
27 from the last 2 overs, and a really good partnership this between Rashid Khan and Najibullah Zadran. Problems for Andrew Balbirnie, and a switch of ends for Barry McCarthy. Short spell that for Curtis Camphor, just the one expensive over. Looking at his bat, Najibullah there, but he found out a little bit in this innings from that shorter ball. Yes, he hit a 6 in that last over, but he has struggled really to get those balls which are back of a length away.
Good for McCarthy all the same, good skill, any energy and good slow ball variation. Balbirnie ringing the changes, third man inside the ring. This is, we'll tell you that McCarthy's probably going to have to bowl slower balls because Rashid Khan's got an ability to slice balls over point.
Out towards deep cover. Oh, and he's pushed it over the bar for 6. Gareth Delaney. Well, we know Rashid Khan is unorthodox. That was mighty unorthodox, and in the end mighty effective, but it probably should have been caught.
Never got himself in a good position. Gareth Delaney was always trying to catch up with the ball, as it were. Not when you're feeling a deep cover, you're never really expecting a catch. I know it might sound funny for people at home, but normally if you're at deep square, long on, mid-wicket, you're expecting to catch, but when you're at deep cover, you're kind of 5 or 10 off the rope to try and save the 2. Wind taking it further maybe than Delaney expected. It's a good shot. It's a really good shot to get the energy and the power. Strong wind taking it all the way.
250 up. And all credit to Gareth Delaney out there at deep cover as well, because he immediately signalled that ball had gone for 6, even though third umpire then intervened to make sure of it. But yeah, he just was never really in a position to take that catch, was he? Not helped by that strong wind blowing across the ground. That carried the ball a little bit further perhaps than he'd anticipated. Well, I think Rashid Khan could write his own coaching manual. Some of the shots aren't necessarily straight out of the MCC version, but they're effective.
Yeah, very effective. It's a really good contribution from Rashid at the back end. 28 from 20, just as the innings was stalling and stuttering. In Afghanistan up over that 270 mark, maybe even 280.
Out. Barry McCarthy with those slower balls, and it's Craig Young, that short third man, who takes the catch. A very straightforward catch, and Najibullah, who's really struggled to get any sort of momentum in his innings, has been put out of his misery.
Good bowling. Barry McCarthy takes the pace right off it. Najibullah, well, as you quite rightly say, never got going. Tries to thump it away as you do at this stage of the innings. Fairly simple catch for Craig Young at short third. Again, good positioning from Andrew Balbirnie, the captain. Najibullah got to go for 29. 256 for 8.
Yes. Mujib in at number 10. Fresh from a spell with the Brisbane Heat in the Big Bash in Australia. Batsman crossed. Oh, I thought they did. No, they didn't. Sorry, Mujib is on strike. He wants to cross, but Rashid not inclined to take the single, because that's the end of the over. It means Rashid will be on strike. 2 to go. Afghanistan 256 for 8. Twelve balls remaining then in this innings. What can Afghanistan get on those 2 overs? Craig Young's going to bowl the first of them. Heaved out towards deep mid-wicket, and it's gone for 6. Wind assisted. Tector got his hands to it, but all he could do is push it over the bar.
Well, strong wind, because he didn't get this anywhere near the middle of the bat. Rashid Khan. He's worried. At this stage, he's worried. Just keeps going, keeps travelling. Tector just pushing it over the bar. I think Craig Young needs to maybe look at his tactic here. Maybe the wide Yorker with a third man, as opposed to giving Rashid Khan the wind leg side. Maybe try and go on the hole outside the wide, near the wide line. Stick the third man in. The moment they're playing into Rashid Khan's hand, let him hit with the wind, giving him length.
Reverse helicopter, I think that's the best way to describe that one, and somehow he's got it over extra cover. And they'll pick up 2. Remarkable shot. Again, certainly not in the coaching manual.
You got to love how he goes about his work. He's always smiling, he's always entertaining. There's never a dull moment, whether it's ball in hand, bat in hand, or in the field. X-factor cricketer Rashid Khan.
Good bowling, full length. Actually nutmeg Rashid in the end.
There's a better length there for Craig Young. Try the Yorker, maybe the wide Yorker. I still think they could do with a third man in. Bring a man in from maybe deep square leg. Push third man back.
You and I were talking off air before the match about the Yorker and the fact that it isn't necessarily bowled as often as it has been in the past. It's a risk and return, I guess, but also the bowlers have to be confident in their own ability to execute it.
We're beating that drum again, are we? We're up here in the com box talking about Yorkers, a lack of. Especially Rashid Khan. You know he wants a bit of length to smack it leg side. Craig Young has got a good Yorker in him. Got a bit of reverse as well.
Well, Mujib's job there was simple. Just get off strike, get Rashid back at the business end. And it wasn't pretty, but he's done it.
Okay, just see what Rashid Khan does here. 1 ball left at the 49th. If he's happy with just dinking it for a leg side for a single, or does he want the maximum? Does he want strike for the first ball or last? A short leg side boundary in the last over as well.
All dropped. Again, beaten for pace, Tucker. That's the second chance he's put down today, and the